Today in the studio, we've got a beautiful Gulf R in for a decontamination and rinseless wash. I'm Ivan.
And I'm Nick.
And this is DIY Detail. Today, we have Nick, but not the normal Nick. We have a new Nick. Nick is a detailer here in Omaha, reached out to us, and we're gonna do his car together. Well, Nick, what do you think?
Well, I tried to make it as dirty as I could.
You did a good job. You know, up close, there are a few things going on.
Yep.
It's a little contaminated. We're gonna do this a little differently. We're gonna be using rinseless wash, but because we're using the iron remover, we are gonna use the pressure washer at some point. Okay. So, off we go. You're gonna pre-spray with the rinseless wash and let it do its thing. It's gonna emulsify and break down this dirt. And at the same time, encapsulate it.
Yeah, it smells wonderful. It actually, you can smell the apple scent, and you can see it actually breaking down some of the debris that's on the car as well. You can actually see it pulling that up. There aren't very many rinseless washes that I feel like actually emulsify like that, especially down here.
Next up, a bit of all clean. It's diluted 15 to 1.
Okay.
We're just gonna put a little bit on the wheels. So this is all clean, diluted 15 to 1.
Typically I use a wheel mitt for the wheel faces, and then I use a barrel brush for the barrels. And then sometimes I'll use like a more intricate brush just to kind of get the intricate areas.
Yeah.
I know since you're the efficiency man, I'm probably more in line with Nick over there, which I probably spend way too much time cleaning my wheels.
If it's a customer's car, Nick, yeah, maybe spend a little less time on the wheels.
Sure.
It's your own ride, you're having fun with it. Go all out, enjoy.
Right.
You know, wheel cleaning is a necessity.
Yep.
It's probably the most boring part, but it is quite satisfying.
It is very satisfying.
Yeah. And the other thing is, when we're done here, we'll be putting quick beads on your wheels, making them a lot easier to keep clean in the future.
They are coated too, so.
Oh, they are coated, okay.
Yeah, with the satin wheels, I was like, they gotta be coated otherwise.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna run into some issues at some point.
So in there you got all sorts of brushes, enjoy.
All right, sounds good.
So Nick, we're gonna be starting with 4 gallons of water.
Okay.
And adding 4 capfuls of the rinseless wash. There we go. Mix it up a little bit, and then we can start washing. You ever used the sponges before?
Yes, sir.
All right. So squeeze it out till it's just at the verge of dripping, and off we go. So no pressure, and just glide the sponge across the surface. Since it's a little dirtier and we're gonna be claying, take the sponge, do one side.
Okay.
Flip it and redo the same panel with it.
You got it.
So what are your impressions on DIY rinseless wash?
It looks like it does emulsify and clean a little bit better than a lot of the other rinseless washes.
Yeah.
I would typically start with like a pre-rinse to get some of that loose stuff off. So it looks like it's doing a good job of
Excellent.
cleaning everything. It looks like it emulsifies and encapsulates things very well. You can tell it has that surfactant base, just the way the water kind of operates on the surface.
Yeah.
I feel like you can see its cleaning power.
Excellent. Iron remover.
Okay.
perforated synthetic decontamination towel.
You got it?
So it's not clay, and it's not going to scratch your surface. We have the lubrication from the Rinseless Wash, and then we simply add one spray on the towel, one spray on the panel, and where you spray it on the panel is where you deposit the towel.
Okay.
And there's a glide the towel on the surface. You don't want to use any pressure whatsoever.
Now, could you use like any iron remover and do this kind of thing?
No. Some iron removers contain solvents. We've added surfactants and lubricants into ours to make it so that it's easy to do this and safe. But not all of them are safe. So.
Okay. Now, are you switching sides in between?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially if after you've gone after one of the lower panels that have a little more contamination on them that we saw before.
Yeah. Do you dunk it back in the bucket here and there? Okay. And is that just water or is that rinseless as well?
That's rinseless as well.
Okay.
But we keep it in a separate bucket, that way we don't contaminate our primary wash bucket. And it's not that it's a bad thing in the wash bucket, it's just the smell.
Yeah.
Because iron removers.
Because it doesn't change the chemical properties of the rinseless, does it?
No, not enough.
Okay. There's a little bit of grit back here.
A little bit, yeah. Like the lower panels as well, right behind the front wheels.
Yep, that would make sense.
Now, are there any burnouts ever involved with this vehicle?
No real burnout. It's all-wheel drive, so it doesn't do a very good burnout.
Okay.
But it does get off the line pretty quickly.
Yeah, definitely. No, the Golf R is definitely a fun ride.
Yeah, I think so. It's been a fun car for me. I've had it since, I think, 2016.
Yeah.
So it's been a good car to me, and I've invested a fair amount of money into it, so I'm glad that was the case. So I've modified it. I have a downpipe, a stage 2 tune on the TCU, so the transmission and the engine. It's got an upgraded intercooler, lots of just different bits and bobs. So kind of just like a bolt-on special, if you will.
Right, yeah. Everything without opening up the engine.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So next, we're using a rinseless wash, but because we use the iron remover, we need to rinse it off. We're gonna use the pressure washer and quick beads to revive your coating a little bit and give it a little more gloss. We all like gloss, don't we?
Absolutely.
So a couple sprays of quick beads, let it sit for 30 seconds or so. Come back and hose it off. It's water activated, so it's the water that actually brings it to life.
I've heard a lot of good things about the quick beads. I know there's a lot of other spray-on, rinse-off products on the market. Is there anything that makes this a little different, or?
We really went for a very positive user experience.
Sure.
A lot of them require, shall we say, more intent, and if you don't have exactly 863 PSI,
right,
it may not work right.
Sure.
This one works with a garden hose, works with a pressure washer.
Okay.
With iron remover, we really want to make sure we're rinsing it off completely. Not that it can damage the paint, it's just annoying to have a little red streak the next time it rains.
Sure.
Nick, now it's your turn.
Yay.
So the quick beads, spray it in a glancing spray. You want to distribute it evenly on the surface, and then we're going to use the pressure washer to activate the quick beads.
All right. You want me to start here?
Start wherever you'd like, sir.
Okay.
You want to distribute not everywhere, but get it somewhat evenly all over the side of the vehicle.
Okay.
On your glass as well. That's good. So from here, when you're going to be rinsing, you're actually going to be pointing the pressure washer up.
Okay.
not down. We're not rinsing the product off, we're activating it with the water.
Okay.
One thing you'll see is it immediately starts looking like there's suds on the vehicle.
Sure.
You keep rinsing until you lose those suds.
Okay. Bottom up, bottom up.
Yeah. So on the front end, you're going to start at the bottom and work your way up the front end. So we're using gravity as our friend here so that you're not rinsing off the product, you're distributing it.
Okay. So I still start at the bumper?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then on the roof, I like to spray from one side to the other.
Okay.
That way we end up not, first of all, leaving anything on the surface, but at the same time, we're pushing it across the surface, we're not rinsing it off.
Okay. So just trying to make sure you're getting the most value out of the product you're using here.
Well, it's more you're trying to distribute it as much as possible as opposed to rinsing it off.
Sure.
Because the water is activating it and distributing it. Now we're in a controlled environment here. We can let it go 2 minutes if we want.
Sure.
If you're working outside in the sun, give it 30 seconds or so and then hose it off.
Okay. Yeah, that's crazy how slick that feels. I've used a lot of spray on rinse off products, but they didn't make it feel like super slick, like you just applied something like this. They just make it very hydrophobic.
And not that your car will ever experience a water spot, but because of the graphene in the quick beads, it helps reduce water spots.
Okay.
But you maintain your car so well that I don't think water spots are a concern.
You know, surprisingly, I think there are some, but they're hard to find because it's a white car, so. It's been a while since this guy's been really thoroughly gone over, but the white likes to hide a lot of things, so that's always a nice feature. I think that, you know, if people want to be less concerned about how good or bad their paint looks, sometimes the white is the best move because it does hide a lot of imperfections.
So you can spray a little bit into your door jambs. Your door jambs are not dirty in any way, so
no.
they're well maintained. This is the kind of car we love to see. People that take pride in their vehicles, that enjoy keeping them clean.
I get a lot of I feel like therapy from doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it brings some kind of weird inner peace, I don't know.
Well, you've got, shall we say, a rather stressful day job, so.
Sure. Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, detailing is very much, for a lot of people, a stress relief.
Absolutely. The iron remover was probably the biggest surprise. I was very surprised how well it glided. I use the towels, like the synthetic clay towels. I've used those before. I have great success with them. But I've used them with an iron remover because I've actually been a follower of you guys for quite a while. So I've used that method, but the iron remover I've used didn't really provide that kind of feeling. So it was nice, like you felt like you were safe using that iron remover as the clay lubricant. It felt like it was really slick. I was very surprised about quick beads and how that made the car feel. It's very slick again. I would not have thought of a spray on rinse off product as actually leaving a drying aid behind. Like I said before, I've used like wet coat for quite a while. Wet coat's a great product, but it doesn't leave that like feeling when you're drying it. So that was pretty cool.
Next step, we have the quick beads on the wheels, and I'm using the ceramic gloss as well. You've got these beautiful Oz wheels, so we want to keep them looking good. One of the things, you know, since we have the quick beads on there, I'm not really worried too much about the water drying on the surface. With the ceramic gloss, it just makes it a lot easier to dry, and at the same time, it's going to give you even more protection on your wheels. So you're used to drying these wheels. I got 3 done. I'll let you do the last one.
That seems fair. You did the bulk of the work.
I recently got satin black wheels for my car as well,
Yeah.
and
They look really good, but man, Big brake kit plus satin wheels equals not fun.
So there you go. What are your thoughts, Nick? You like the look of your car?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, one thing we get scolded on a lot is you guys are using a clay towel without polishing afterwards.
Sure.
You know your paint. Did we mar it up? Did we make it look worse?
Nope. Nope. Looks about the same.
Looks as shiny as it did before?
Yes, sir.
Just a little cleaner.
Honestly, it probably looks a little shinier because, you know, you've got all these additional products on there too. So.
Yeah, but there's no additional marring, there's no scratches.
Nope.
We didn't take sandpaper across your vehicle?
Nope.
No.
Not at all.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Nick.
Absolutely.
How do people get a hold of you?
They can find me on Instagram, or you can find me on Facebook.
Yeah.
Instagram, it's Gleam underscore auto detailing. Facebook, Gleam Auto Detailing LLC. If you need to send me an email or anything like that, it's gleamomaha@gmail.
Great. We'll put the links down below so you don't have to rewind this too many times. They'll be in the description. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, or ideas, leave them below. And while Rinseless is talking about itself, you know, take a look at this video here.